Mindhunter Season 1, Episode 2. So you guys said in Episode 2 is when things, I guess, pick up, or when people normally got hooked. So in Episode 1, I really enjoyed the beginning half of Episode 1. Then the middle, it kind of lost me. Not because... You know what I thought? You know what I was thinking, which I should have said in my reaction? Maybe I should start doing that from now on in the episode that I am watching, tell how I completely feel. But then I kind of remember things at the moment when I'm doing something else. So, what I was going to say is, this show seems like it's promising for me. But I feel like they are jumping really into thinking that their audience is as everybody in their audience is as intelligent and smart as the rest of the people on the show, and I'm not. I'm not talking about the rest of y'all, but some of the words I was like, what the are they saying? And with me, because I do have like a learning disability. I have like, I was always like in a special ed or a smaller class because I do have ADD. And if you're talking to me and I don't really understand what you're saying, I'll look at you with a blank face or I then start zoning off and doing my own thing in my head while I'm looking at you. So you won't even know that I'm zoning off and I have no idea what you're saying. And that's what happened to me in that episode, in the last episode. I kind of, in certain parts, I zoned completely off. And I love psychology. I love like this whole law aspect and criminal minds and stuff like that. You know, I'm kind of new actually, I should say, to criminal minds because I just started doing this. But it's still fascinating. But they were getting so deep in depth at like a quick pace, and because the show is so new to me, I was zoning out, and I'm hoping that in this episode I don't do that, and I will let you guys know if I do, obviously, at the end of this reaction. So I'm really hoping that it doesn't happen to me again. As always, this is going to be a full reaction for my second and third tier here on the YouTube platform, as well as my other platform, Patreon. So guys, please sign up to one of those platforms and help support the channel today. With that being said, let's jump into Mindhunters and find out exactly what Mindhunters has got to give. Damn. I can't see this on the screen when I do my reactions.
Can I help you?
No.
Yes.
Thank you. I need some replacement electrical tape.
Give me the empty and I'll get you a new roll.
Empty what?
I can't give you a new one until I get the old.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Hey, do me a favor. Don't ever fucking mention this to me ever again.
Well, I'm going to.
Because it's the insanest idea that I've ever heard. To me, Bill, I want to become a beach boy, take up surfing, sit around smoking the vibes.
Awesome.
You really want to meet Charlie Manson?
Why not?
Really? Just swing by and say hi.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear about that crazy motherfucker. You know this. Nobody can talk to Manson. Tom Snyder's been trying to interview him for years. California, every year, 35% of murders go unsolved. That's more unsolved murders than in any other state.
You can't get to Manson even if you're fed. If you do go to Bogaville, you definitely need to meet Ed Kemper.
What happened that may have triggered?
He's like 6'9", 285 pounds.
Whoa, king size.
Super king. Wow. Teenage girls. He chops their heads right off. He has sexual intercourse with the corpses. Kills his mind with a claw hammer. Has sexual intercourse with their heads. It's a total whack job. He's murdering his grandparents at the age of 15, but then he manages to convince everyone that he's completely rehabilitated. Jim Connor knew him real well. I'll introduce you.
Really?
No.
Big Ed. Everybody here knew him.
Was he an informant?
No, but he was smart. It was funny.
He would joke that they could conceal his psychiatric record, but not his fat ass.
Losers are drawn to authority.
Nobody wants to admit it, but losers are useful.
This is before you knew about the killings.
Oh, we knew about him. We just hadn't connected him with him.
You like the guy?
Let's just say he was a friendly nuisance.
Oh, come on.
He lit out to Pueblo, Colorado, expecting there to be some kind of manhunt from a payphone. Confessed. We thought he was bullshit.
Do you think the Kemper would talk to us?
Try stopping him. Who's us, Kumasabi? Really, what are you expecting to learn?
A killer who can't stop talking? It's a gift.
Third victim was a 15-year-old child, Holden.
You just got me out here to carry your slide projector.
To help with the workload, yeah.
Ties too much. What about the suits?
Anybody finds out you're a Fed, there'll be a riot.
Easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
That's That's true.
You need to go in stone goddamn cold, take them by surprise, get the fuck out as quick as possible. Sends his regards.
I stopped by the jury room for a drink.
The guys all say blah, blah, blah. What are you doing?
Just in case.
Holden, they're not gonna let you in with a sidearm.
So what's he gonna do?
He's gonna take the fucking thing away from you, he's gonna kill you with it, and then he's gonna have sex with your face.
I don't want to spoil your fun.
I'm good. 9 is fine.
You could come. Really gonna go golfing while I glean profound insights from the co-ed killer.
It's my day off.
Gonna be a part of something instead of rotting inside a cell.
Part of what? We're not even here.
Most respectfully ask for your badge and firearm, please. Event of your death, or if you're taken hostage, attacked, assaulted, or otherwise abused within the correctional facility, the United States government forswears any and all liability.
The waiting room is the conference room. Is it
Can we unlock the...
They'll stay on the regulation. FBI. Hey, you all set?
Thanks, Jim.
I'll see you later.
Thanks, Jim.
Edward.
Edmund.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just assumed that it was...
Are you tired? Edmund was my mom's idea, so you can call me Ed. How can I help?
Okay. And I had this idea.
Have you had breakfast? Can I get you something? You want a sandwich?
I'm fine. Really.
I'll get us an egg salad sandwich. I can get almost anything you want from the canteen. Hey, Jim. Have you seen Mitch this morning? You think you can find him for me? Guys are great. I've been here 5 years. We just clicked right off the bat.
I heard that you used to drink at the jury room.
You mean in Santa Cruz? I applied to California Highway Patrol. My mom spoke to the cops to get my psychiatric record expunged. Didn't bother them at all. I was just too tall. What?
Nothing. It just seems...
You think they lied to me? Cops like me because they can talk to me more than they can talk to their own wives, some of them. I watch all the cop shows on TV.
Joseph Wambaugh? Police Story? You ever watch that?
Huge fan.
Oh.
I got a lot of my insights right there. Would not allow myself to walk into a trap because I knew exactly how their minds work from watching Wambaugh. They tried everything to trick me. I'm too savvy. I don't fucking talk, period.
Really? That's interesting.
So, you had this idea.
Yes. Of a research thing.
Research.
Just a series of interviews.
I don't get to go someplace, do a bunch of tests.
No. Yeah, no tests. Just right here.
Talking about what?
Well, I don't know. Behavior, I guess.
Why are you so tense? You're tense right now. Be honest, I don't get many visitors. When I do, you think they want to talk about this shit? Blue hunt other people for a vocation. All we want to talk about is what it's like. It's not easy. Butchering people's hard work. Physically and mentally, I don't think people realize. What are you writing down?
Oh, I just think it's an interesting choice of words. Vocation.
Look at the consequences. The stakes are very high. Is this helping? Are you getting what you came for?
I think.
Good.
You think you shouldn't be in prison?
I think it's shutting the barn door after the horses bolted somewhat. Well, Holden, a lobotomy's not out of the question. You remember Frances Farmer?
No.
I loved Frances Farmer. She was an actress. She was a lot like me.
You don't think you could benefit from psychiatry?
For me, I think surgery might give me the best chance.
And if surgery doesn't take, what do we do with the Ed Kempers of the world?
Wasn't that your department? Death by torture?
Torture.
So what are you not telling me? Why do you keep looking at me like that?
It's difficult for me to square you with what you're in prison for.
I was a regular guy most of my life with a nice home. Thoughtful, educated, well brought up young person. There's no question about it. I was living a vile, depraved, entirely parallel other life.
Your own unusual...
An unusual MO. An oeuvre, if you will. You could study it. You could spell oeuvre, can't you, Holden?
People that kill in sequence like you did.
Sequence?
One right after another. Just been calling them sequence killers.
North America, more than 35.
35?
But you're never gonna find them. Just an extremely accomplished murderer who spent my adult life successfully evading capture. Take it or leave it.
Ooh, take
What
it.
do you want from me?
What do you want from me?
Was extremely talkative.
He likes talking to cops. He's lonely. Chopped off women's heads and had sex with the corpses. If that's not frenzied, I don't know what the hell is. He meticulously chose small, young female prey who couldn't fight back. Animal cunning. Just enough to talk his way out, then he went hunting. Don't be stupid about this.
What makes you so sure I'm being stupid? With me next weekend. See for yourself.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
About less murder than the whole FBI behavioral science unit. We should put him on the payroll.
I get 2 eggs over medium, home fried potatoes. And for you?
I'll just have an Ed salad sandwich.
What?
And
Mention-itis. You cannot stop mentioning him.
think of how much we could learn from a guy like Kemper.
Why does he hate women?
I should ask.
But not outright.
No?
Your arms uncrossed. Mirror his movements.
These feminine wiles.
Cross your legs in his direction. You want him to like you, but you don't want him to think you're gonna fuck him.
Here's the thing. I spent 5 years as a brick agent. Elliot Ness.
You're Melvin Purvis, G-Man.
Then I enroll in college, and suddenly I am Warren fucking Beatty. It's disco and poppers and fern bars. I am up to my neck in chicks. Chicks do really dig a guy with a badge.
Gas, grass, or ass, nobody rides for free.
Next thing I know,
Don't brag, it's unbecoming.
oh my God, I am so sorry.
I'm kidding. With that young tea real quick before it turns into mom. So you were a virgin up until then, that's what you're saying?
No, not at all.
Oh, you go over like you're a virgin. This new girl, she take it up the ass. It's like a hole that sucks. It's easy. It's really difficult. Work, mommy. You feel this? Muscle. Cartilaginous.
Your mom worked on campus at UCSC.
Administrative assistant.
Right.
That's all she lived for, man. Her work and her precious co-eds, whom she mothered relentlessly. Had a failed marriage with my father. I looked a lot like him, so
You reminded her of him.
as far as she was concerned, I was never going to end up with one of those girls. Came to me, she had nothing but contempt. Disappointment and disdain. Women are born with this little hole between their legs. Every man on earth just wants to stick something into, employ their minds and their sex, and they intuitively learn to humiliate.
Did your mother humiliate you? Ed?
Like, this killer guy is kind of
In the vernacular in the institution, he's sophisticated enough to use it.
No, that's not my instinct.
Got you pegged. He's telling you what he's guessed you want to hear. Why did you tell him that stuff?
To loosen him up.
He's had 7 years in a correctional facility. He's been practicing. Don't encourage him. So in Fairfield, Iowa, you were in the dark ages, and now suddenly you have all these unimpeachable instincts. I need you to understand that whatever you think, there's a distinct possibility that he's manipulating you.
Oh, that was a beat. Oh, that was good. Like a Holden horse, man.
I'm Detective Roy Carver. Listen, I was a little late to the presentation, but that was just great. I know you're not just here to teach.
No, we really just teach, Roy.
Well, I was hoping I could get you guys to take a look at something a little, unusual. Rosemary Gonzalez, 73 years old. Her husband died of cancer, so she sold the family farm in Chico. We find her beaten within an inch of her life in the doorway to her back porch. She hasn't been robbed. The little dog's throat's been cut.
Was the dog? Why didn't he stab her?
Didn't have the nerve. Why do you say Latino like that?
Because that's the neighborhood, Spicks and Blacks.
Did she identify anybody?
You think it's about a little dog?
Scottish Terriers can be loud. They're bark.
We need to know exactly how worried we need to be.
My husband would have cried to see me like this. Me, I don't cry. What did I ever do? Who would do such a thing?
Let me ask you something. Did your dog ever bite anyone?
Never.
Who cuts the grass, Rosie?
Yeah, who helps you take care of the yard?
I have all sorts of help. Kids mostly. It's a very close community.
And you didn't recognize your assailant? He wasn't familiar?
Do you have kids?
2 daughters. The eldest is divorced. Dios mío.
Was he big, little?
I do remember a smell. He stank.
Like what? Grease or gasoline?
A bum. Like somebody who needed to wash.
Gets into a fight with his old man one night. Maybe gets a hold of a bottle of liquor and comes across the house.
Is this some neighborhood kid?
He goes inside. She doesn't recognize him, thinks that he's broken in, and she starts yelling. He's drunk. He beats the shit out of her. Doesn't bathe because bathing is what his parents want.
Look, we got a lot of kids like that around here.
Kid saw the dog out front in the yard, decided to conduct a moonlight experiment with his Bowie knife. Gets interrupted.
Been tossing the idea around that maybe it's one of these, satanic deals.
You need to squeeze the neighborhood kids. One of them knows something.
We had a kid like that. We brought him in for questioning twice. His aunt works for the county.
Then make it formal.
Well, I'm probably going to need a warrant.
Be able to help you with that.
To get a room.
I can take care of the room. We could turn this into an opportunity. You could help with the Gonzalez case.
Not consulting with Ed Kemper. You can't stay away from that motherfucker, can you?
No, please, don't say motherfucker. You know that he'll respond to your seniority.
I said forget about it, man.
So, you're the big boss, right? Holden's the intrepid rookie investigator.
Bill taught me everything I know about criminal behavior.
What do you think about Joseph Wambaugh?
He knows Joe.
No shit.
Not the, stories, but the psychological insights and the vernacular.
I sure would love to pick your brain sometime.
Well, that's another life sentence right there.
Maybe you could, talk about your background a little bit with Bill. Maybe tell him the thing that you told me the other day.
My mother.
Gotta leave his mom alone.
Teenager, I began by cutting up inanimate objects, G.I. Joe, my sister's dolls. Mother yell and scream at me, tell me I was sick.
What do you think you were gonna do?
You did.
I guess rape my sister or something.
Why do you think she thought this?
Because she was fucking nuts.
You didn't do anything to frighten her?
She frightened me. So then it became dogs and cats, strangling them, burying them in the backyard, just to vent from the insanity of the world. And then you see...
I'm sorry, wait a minute.
Is that why your mother sent you away?
Packed me off to live with my grandma. She thought I was a freak.
Is that why you shot her?
Female-centric. Get that down, that's a big antecedent.
What happened after that?
Those years when other kids were having their sexual revolution, I was locked in a room. Physically, I wasn't impotent, but emotionally I was. I was conditioned by mom, right? Like you said.
Conditioned?
I knew a week before she died I was gonna kill her. Ask her how her evening went. She just looked at me. She said for 7 years, and I haven't had sex with a man because of you, my murderous son. I got a claw hammer and I beat her to death. Then I cut her head off. I humiliated her. I said, there, now you've had sex. If a woman humiliates her little boy, he will become hostile and violent and debased. Period.
I need to speak to Shepard. Tell him what's been going on.
It's too early.
The longer we wait, the worse it's going to be.
Where's in lockdown? What's he gonna do?
Kemper is a gigantic blabbermouth. Federal agent is meeting with him. You think that hasn't reached the warden? If we get censured, we're off work for 2 weeks, minimum, no appeal, and you can kiss goodbye to the Gonzalez case.
If in Sacramento you would intercede with the district attorney on behalf of the FBI.
Strange case. The locals were struggling and we were trying to help figure a way forward.
What were you thinking?
Very unusual.
Assault and battery? Since when does the FBI consult on that? Not even homicide.
Unless you count a dog.
Gave you your assistant, and this is how you choose to spend your time?
Oh.
Is there anything else you want to tell me?
2-year-old stomping grounds. Meet my mom. Okay, get to know where we're at.
I'm sure she's really, really lovely.
Actually, she's kind of a bitch. I like you.
Me too.
I might give you the secret to win her over. I'll ask you about your mother. It'll seem like a perfectly innocent question, but she'll be watching you closely. You'll know that you'll treat her daughter the same way. Do you like your mom?
Do you?
I do. Or doesn't want us leaving town.
Why? What's happened?
We, really fucked up.
You grounded?
How do you know where I live?
Personnel gave me your address. Let's go back to Shepard. Tell him about Kemper. Tell him what we've been doing.
You think he'll listen now?
If we fix it, Shepard might give us what we want.
Are you out of your fucking mind? You interviewed Edmund Kemper.
Not this idea.
I don't want to hear your idea, Holden. I'm sick to death of your ideas. It is not our job to commiserate with these people. The Bureau of Investigation is on track after all these years. Well, golly, what a relief. I'm so pleased for us.
We're pleased, too.
Don't smart-mouth me, Holden.
Insights afforded us during these visits may possibly help us identify the person responsible for the attacks in Sacramento and help prevent others. I truly believe there is a vein here that needs to be mined.
Okay, kiddo. 3 whole bags. Censure, suspension, transfer.
He knows his criminal psychology. He's done his homework, worked his butt off, and now I think he's onto something.
No, what's next? Charles Manson? When's he booked for?
We were thinking June.
I think it's right.
Are you bored with golf?
California jails are full of thrill killers and lust murderers.
And we put him there. That's our job.
I know what we're talking about when we speak to other law enforcement.
Can you make him shut up?
I have not been able to do that, sir.
How do we get ahead of crazy if we don't know how crazy thinks?
I like you, Bill. I don't particularly like him, but I like you. You may continue with your little sideshow. However, no one can know about it. Clear? Reporting directly and exclusively to me.
The basement. I'm 44 years old.
You may dedicate 10 hours of your 50-hour work week to this. Do you both understand?
Yes. And thank you, sir.
So I'm going to let you guys know. So the beginning of this episode, I felt like episode 1. How I was feeling when I first gave you guys the intro, being like, oh God, I hope I'm not lost. As soon as we're introduced to this guy, this killer, he got me together. He gathered me, honey. He said, come to this palace where I can cut off your head and fucking your throat. I didn't even know I was going to say that, but I did. So, so anyways, well, reaction. I can't wait to watch me say that. So once I was introduced to this guy, I was so into the show. He was very interesting. Him going back and forth with Holden. I find Holden so attractive. I don't know what it is, but this guy is so, I need to see what he looks like off this show. I find him so attractive, so I'm like, I always get really into him when I see him. Like, he's my boyfriend or whatever. And then getting this Holden's, I forgot the guy's name, but his partner, and then all of the interaction with them. Sometimes it's like I get kind of zoned off, but most of the time it was really good in this episode. Overall, this episode for me was much better than the ending. I don't know, maybe like 15-20 minutes of the beginning, I felt like more like episode 1 of the middle to ending of episode 1, and it kind of lingered. And then the after 20 minutes, 21 minutes, on 21 minute mark, it started feeling like the beginning of episode 1, where it was kind of like thrilling, and I was like, ooh, give me more. Give me more, give me more, give me more, give me more. So I guess we gotta wait until the next episode. With that being said, if you've seen this reaction and realize you are not subscribed, hit subscribe and also please like and share this content because it is wonders for this channel. And I'll see you all next time on Andres L.